Today on New England Living, we're celebrating all the creature comforts of home. From a state-of-the-art oyster facility inside a remodeled South Shore barn to a sprawling suburban estate blending modern architecture with bespoke luxury, and a custom candle and gift store dedicated to all things home. It all starts right now on New England Living. New England is full of adventure.
Up and away.
Oh, you just did your first takeoff.
You're part of my dream day right now.
Join me as we discover the people and places that make us so unique.
This is it. You can't find it anywhere else in North America.
I mean, does it get any better than this? Love the place you call home with New England Living. Thank you for joining us today on New England Living. I'm your host, Rachel Holt. Up next, Gilda Miranda heads to the South Shore to learn about a truly one-of-a-kind project, merging oyster farming with the creature comforts of home, with Anna and Mark Boutillier, owners of Deluxeberry Sea Farm.
Mark and Anna, thank you so much for having us in your space that Jess, your architect, helped you create. Tell us a little bit about how this came to be.
Well, we've been oyster farmers for many years, and we started our company, Deluxeberry Sea Farm, 6 years ago. And it had gotten to the place where our tiny little barn that was on our property, it was very rudimentary, not antique, but just rudimentary, and we were operating out of it in the winters. And we realized we just had to finally get into a better space and a larger space, and one that our employees and all of us have enough room and comfortability to really do our jobs and to work through the harshest of our winter months.
In the farm business here, in the spring, summer, and fall months, we are so busy growing our farm and our oysters. We don't have time to do any maintenance on any of the boats because they're always in service and being used in a harsh environment out in the ocean. The only time for us to repair all these boats is in the winter. So it was really necessary for us to grow as a company to be able to maintain our fleet of boats, to have an indoor workspace. Turned out we needed a really large boat shop. That's where we turned to Jess, along with all of our other items on the checklist, and said, how can we get this done without this looking like a gigantic boat shop? We want it to look like a small New England barn to match the community, the neighborhood, and to match our house. Threw it on her lap and said, what can you do?
Well, I always enjoy a challenge. The interesting thing about this site is the main house is actually a very petite antique structure. We're trying to fit an oyster barn, a place for boat storage, an office space, and then a workshop and some other things into this structure. All of those things are quite large, and we didn't want it to compete with a very small petite house, which is just a lovely piece of the neighborhood. We were able to overcome those challenges by using the slope of the land and kind of hiding the main spaces in the back in a place where from the street side you really can't tell how large the structure actually is.
So you kept it traditional in front and kind of more modern in back.
Yeah, it is kind of a joke. There are plenty of architects that use the mullet term. So business in the front, party in the back, and that often has to do with the neighborhood context. So we knew on the back side of this property that big open windows, lots of light, different things like that would be completely acceptable visually from the backyard and from the neighbors. But from the street side, it was really important that we did not really change the context of the street. We wanted to make sure that the structure felt like it was always here. And I think we did a pretty good job making that happen.
Just being in here, it feels like you intentionally brought the outside in. Can you talk about the importance of integrating natural light in the space?
Absolutely. So natural light is one of the most important features in any architectural building. There's two reasons for that. One is natural light just makes us feel good, but there's also this connection to the exterior, and being able to see nature is a really important feature for well-being. The other piece of it is the boat storage facility, where Mark and Anna are working on boats all the time. And we wanted there to be as much natural light in that area as possible, just literally to be able to see what they're doing and what they're working on without it just being a bunch of ugly fluorescent lights everywhere.
How did you work together with Jess hand in hand to achieve everything you wanted and also stay within budget?
Well, Jess was the one that really brought up the idea of using Elevate windows from Marvin, and I was the one who's a little reluctant, particularly when talking about a really large windows, the 6x6s, that we have a total of 12 or so in the whole building. And so we were a little intimidated by how that was gonna look. Jess was like, go to Marvin at 7 Tide up in Boston, and I think it's gonna be a good exercise for you to really see what the windows are, what they would feel like and what they would look like, but then was able to project on the screen the true sizes of the windows.
And being able to sit in that living room space at 7 Tide and see the scale of the windows and understand specifically what you're getting. That is such a huge feature for me.
The barn space is anything but average. It's not what you'd envision when you think of a barn. Can you describe your space?
Yeah, this is definitely not your typical New England barn. We'd like to think of it as a multi-use building that still has a lot of barn aspects, where we still do a lot of the things that you would do in a barn, work on boats and work on cars and whatever. But a more modern version where we've got some nice living space above it, and it looks like a traditional barn from the street.
There was a lot of things that we talked about, and my take on all of it was to make sure that we're really thinking about the people that will be in the space and how their comfort will be either enhanced or detracted if there was a poor design. So I think the way that we focused on the design was really all about making sure it was comfortable for not only Mark and Anna, but for their full staff.
That's why this shop downstairs is so important. We don't have a place in the freezing cold months to work. To have this space where it's a modern facility with heated floors and the walk-in cooler enables us to continue through the year to sell oysters every day.
Coming up after the break, we're checking out an expansive modern estate packed with custom amenities for a modern lifestyle when New England Living returns after this. Welcome back to New England Living. I'm Rachel Holtz. Up next, we're heading to Weston, Mass. to check out another remarkable property blending modern architecture and technology with luxury real estate expert Ricardo Rodriguez. We are back with our friend Ricardo, and Ricardo, it's always so good to see you.
It's so good to see you always, every single time. I love it.
We get so excited about this, and you always bring us to a really awesome home.
Oh,
this one is beautiful.
Yeah,
here
this
in
one is very
Weston.
special, yes. It really, really, really is, yes.
And as always, you're teaching us about all the luxury trends, and you're bringing us to this really amazing property here in Weston. Why did you choose this house?
Well, you know, we usually look at stuff in the city, and I figure out this home is pretty representative of what is happening right now with luxury real estate in particular. And so I thought it would be nice to get you a different take of what is happening.
And I think what really sticks out is how much land they have.
Yes, so you're looking at around 1.5 acres, which is wonderful. The thing that is also special about this piece of land is that it is a corner exposure. And so you have this extra exposure and extra ability to capture light. Plus, it is a raised lot, which means that as the cars are going by, your neighbors are going by, they're not looking right into your windows. You're like a little bit higher than the street level. So it's very, very wonderful for privacy.
It's this beautiful modern home,
Yes.
but at the same time, it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb in the neighborhood. It's unique here, but
Yes.
it fits in at the same time.
So the home is from 2022, and I think that the developer and the architect did a very nice job at finding this mix of materiality. So you have traditional elements like the wooden shingles, but then you have all these more contemporary elements. And then additionally, their choice of styles. There's a gables shift architectural style. And so what it does, it creates this very, very nice kind of like playfulness to the roof line, but at the same time, that style provides this massing to the home that allows for these windows to be floor to ceiling. And so the light and the breeze just travels from one end of the home to the other one. So it's pretty special that way.
Seeing the outside of this house has me very excited to see what's inside.
Oh, there is a lot. So what we have inside is this huge emphasis on wellness and health, which is right in trend what is happening right now overall in the luxury market segment across the country, actually across the world. It's a huge emphasis on that. And the second element has to do with sustainability and technology. And so the homeowners put a lot of emphasis on that. So I'm dying for you to see it.
Oh, I
Shall
can't
we?
wait. Let's go.
That's it.
Oh, wow. This is incredible.
Yes, it really is beautiful.
Okay, the inside of this house did not disappoint. Take me through the different levels that we have here.
So it's a pretty good sized house. It's slightly under 8,500 square feet. So it's a total of 3 levels. In the upper level, you have the bedrooms. This is all kind of like the living space. And below is that wellness and health area. It is a total of 6 bedrooms and 7.5 bathrooms. And then additionally, you have a garage for 3 cars, although you potentially could do more if you have some hydraulic lifts. It's a pretty stunning home.
And throughout, we're really seeing this emphasis on technology.
Yes, it is. So you will see as you walk around that in different rooms, you have these iPads that are built into the walls, and those iPads control all of the smart home technology in the home, from the lighting to the music to all the different elements. So it's a nice, very easy to use, but fully integrated kind of like technology into the space.
Wellness is also incorporated throughout the house. Is this
Yes.
a trend that you're noticing throughout?
Yes. So in luxury real estate, and we're seeing this just literally not just across the Boston market, but nationally and internationally, is that wellness and health is a big trend, particularly in the upper levels of the luxury market. And so this home is right on trend. That's one of my favorite things about this home, that is about not only wellness and health, but it's about also energy conservancy, because we have solar panels on the roof, but it's also about, using the latest technology for daily living and more as a lifestyle element than just some kind of like cold back of the house factor.
It's a perfect home for entertaining, but at the same time, there's a bunch of cozy nooks in here.
Yes. What is interesting about this specific design is that when you look at it from the exterior, it looks pretty modern. And then when you come inside, you expect this to be one huge open space like most modern architecture is. But when you walk through a space, you will see that it has all these very intimate spaces. So you don't enter into a gigantic room. You enter and then you have your music room to the left, you have your formal dining to the right, and then you have this kind of like formal living space for the family. All of these elements that make it very intimate while you are really utilizing the full 8,500 square feet to full capacity.
If there's one level in this house that I already know is going to make people the most jealous, it's the downstairs level.
Yes, there's a lot of amazing little goodies, and we should go and check it out right now.
All right, let's
do
go.
it.
Okay, this is the fun zone.
Right.
And the area where we're seeing health and wellness really blend into the house.
Yes. So the way that the space opens, as you can see, is on this serene lounge. This is a perfect place to come and have a cup of tea, just to relax, maybe watch the news, just spend some time with the family or spend time by yourself. And then from here, you can go into the gym. The gym is a pretty high-tech gym, as you can see, with the high-tech tension system and smart mirror. And then on the opposite side of this floor, you have your Pilates and yoga studio. You have a Pilates reformer machine right there. And all of this space is open right into an outdoor terrace, where it has an outdoor fireplace. So you can get out there, hang out, just have a beautiful, relaxing time. And then additionally to that, you have a separate changing room, which has a shower as well as an infrared sauna. And so you have all of those elements right here that are related to that kind of like relaxation, health, wellness, but also you have some of those elements that are high-tech, like the VR room, which is an immersive VR room with all of the sensors and all of the different equipment that allows you to, have a fun time and go crazy, I guess.
We have to get you in there, I think.
No, we have to get you in there, yes.
I mean, I didn't even know some of this existed, to have your own VR room. Is this a trend that you're seeing with more technology being incorporated into these luxury homes?
Yeah, I think that technology has been primarily used in terms of smart home. This is the first virtual reality room that I've ever been part of. But we're starting to see a lot of those conversations with other clients, and we're starting to see them in larger buildings, for example, where you have simulators and things of that nature. You're starting to see them right now on private homes.
First one you're seeing, but probably not the last.
It will
by
not be the
sounds
last
of
one, I
it.
can assure you. It won't be the last one, yes.
What more could you need? It's all
No,
right
what
here.
else? Seriously, you could be here, get to your house, and never leave for, for intents and purposes. It's fantastic.
Coming up right after the break, from home technology to home decor, we're heading back to the South Shore to visit a custom candle company where wax and wit go hand in hand when New England Living returns. Welcome back to New England Living. Up next, we're in Norwell, Mass. to visit a unique handmade custom candle company where everything is made with love by Lindsay Riley, founder and creator of Riley Lane.
Lindsay, you have one of the best smelling businesses around, Riley Lane, where you handcraft candles right here in Massachusetts. How did this all come about?
Yeah, so this started about 4 years ago. I was making candles during COVID just to help my anxiety, and one thing led to another, selling them in my store, The Q, and it just took off right from there.
Give us an idea of how that business has taken off. What's the production like these days?
We're one of the largest women-owned manufacturers in the area for candles, and we're doing about 1,000 candles a week, if not every couple days.
Wow, and you're doing this all yourself?
Yes, I have myself and a couple part-time people helping us try to keep things moving.
This is inspired by your grandmother. Can you tell us about her and how she's influenced your business?
Yeah, so her name was Elaine Riley, so the candles are Riley Lane, and she was an inspiration to my whole family. She had 6 kids, all boys, 1 girl, and it was all about bringing people together in their home and celebrating everything together. Like, that was the core of everything we did. So it's Riley Lane, all roads lead home, because that's where she treasured everything, and we always had candles lit.
So your business is heavily influenced by your family, but it's also pretty influenced by New England. What are some of those touches that we can find throughout?
Yeah, so we have a lot of our candles named after places in New England, whether it's the Cape, the Beachcomber, you know, different beaches, coastal and whatnot. So we try to keep it as local feeling as we can because we are a New England-based company.
We're in one of your Shop the Q locations here in Norwell, and when you walk in, it has this very homey, warm, cozy feel to it. I'm sure that's something that's really intentional.
Yeah, when we were looking for our new location, we wanted you to feel as though you were in your home while you were shopping, and that's really what we achieved here.
What is the story behind Shop the Q and how this came about?
Yeah, so I opened the Q almost 5.5 years ago in Dorchester, and it was just a boutique named after Quincy, because Shop the Q, people call Quincy the Q. I really wanted to find great gifts that were made locally and make people feel beautiful with the clothes that we had as well.
A lot of what we see around here is sourced locally.
Yep.
How do you go about that? Where are you finding these different businesses? And why is that something that's so important to you?
Well, with my first company, it was all about being made in Mass, made in the US, and now I think getting able to buy other vendors and artists and stuff like that, having things local in the community is far from any other store that you see out there.
I mean, I could spend all day in this store. This is a dream walking through here. What can we find?
Yeah, so we have a little bit of everything, and in our Norwell location, we have kids' clothes for babies, and then we have women's clothing, home and gift, and we have more of a coastal feel here, I would say, because we have all the coastal towns around us. So whether we're getting a cutting board or oyster bags that are purses, and we have a little something in between for everyone.
The candle making, it all goes on upstairs. What's that process like?
Yeah, so we really wanted a place where we could have the candles downstairs to sell and then the operation upstairs. So we hand pour every candle, mix them, source them, and build the whole company upstairs. And then we have the wax, the fragrances, and that's where we do all of our private labeling candles or our other candles here that we sell in our retail stores.
What goes into making all these candles?
So the start of our process is we have to pour the wax, and then we have to mix it for 2 minutes, and then you pour it into the jars that have the set wicks in them, and then from there you kind of have to wait for them to cool down and get solid again, and then you have to trim the wicks, melt them down so they have that perfect top, and then we lid and label them. So it seems like a quick process, but it actually takes a couple hours, whether it's cooling down or you're pouring more, to get to that point.
And overall, what's your hope when people walk away with a candle? What kind of feel are you hoping to give them?
I think, you know, shopping local is such a huge thing right now, and knowing that it's handmade with love, I feel like, and really there's so much effort put in here with clean fragrance and clean soy wax that people just feel like they did something great, and it's such a great candle and a great product that they're supporting.
We're in front of a really fun area in this store, the Make It Sentimental bar. How does this all work?
Yeah, so we basically took what Hallmark is with gift cards and Yankee Candle with candles and put it together to have a unique experience. So whether you're gifting a gift, you can kind of make it sentimental for the person you're giving it to.
And what makes these candles special?
For us, we try to source as much as we can in the US, and we also use clean organic products, so soy wax, cotton wicks. We want to have a good quality, good smelling, great candle for everyone.
All right, now I have to see how this Make It Sentimental candle bar works. What are some of the choices that we have here?
Yeah, so we have over 15 scents here that you can choose from, and we have our large mason jar or a frost jar that you can put the labels on, and we have a wide variety of scents.
What are some of those scents? Because for a lot of people, this is the best part.
Yeah, I would say choosing the scent's probably the hardest. We have anything from your coastal scents to your cozy scents. Also, we have some clean scents as well.
There's so many different occasions and milestones represented too. What is the most popular one?
I would have to say our over the bridge one is for New England. Everyone going to the Cape is probably one of our most popular ones.
The local feel there. And a lot of towns, what's the most popular town we have to know?
I would say here it would definitely be Marshfield so far.
Okay, good job, Marshfield. How does this all work? What's the first step?
Yeah, so you're gonna choose your jar and then we're gonna choose your label and we put it on. We can also do some custom labels for people as well, and we actually made you guys one.
Oh, a New England Living candle label, that is amazing. So we pick our jar here.
Yep, and then we'll take one of these off for you.
Okay.
And I'll do one right with you.
Get it nice and centered there.
Yep. You just put it on and...
That's so cute, I love this.
So pretty.
Thank you, and now we have to smell it too. Oh, and it has an amazing smell to it too, of course.
Yeah, it smells like vanilla, so that's actually our signature scent for our brand. All roads lead home.
I love this. Thank you so much. So fun.
Yes, absolutely.
Coming up next, we're voyaging to the city of ships, Bath, Maine, to experience the state's maritime history on the banks of the Kennebec River, when New England Living returns. Welcome back to the show. It's time now to go around New England with your New England Chevy dealer. We're heading up north, along the banks of the Kennebec River in Bath, Maine, where you'll find the Maine Maritime Museum. The scenic waterfront campus spans 20 acres. Inside, you'll be able to explore and learn from seasonal exhibits and permanent exhibits, like lobstering and the Maine coast, and the Watercraft Restoration Center. There's also an historic boat collection of more than 140 vessels, all with ties to the state. Outside, you'll find the only surviving shipyard in the country, where large wooden sailing vessels were once built. Visitors get a sense of what life used to be like for area shipbuilders, and a full-size sculpture of the schooner Wyoming gives you an idea of the size and scope of the boats the shipyard saw. The working boat shop on site helps preserve traditional woodworking techniques and keeps the rich history of wooden boat building alive. Visitors can also take a lighthouse cruise to see up to 10 of the state's lighthouses by water. The museum is open daily and free for visitors under the age of 17. Thanks for joining us today on New England Living. For more on the show or anything you've seen here today, visit us at newenglandliving.tv and follow us on social media. I'm Rachel Holt. See you next time on New England Living.